Okay, this brief introduction into the course is intended to give you a very high-level overview of the framework that we'll use for this course. There are many different ways you can think about strategic management and the process of strategic planning. And one of the main frameworks we use for this is to understand the distinction and the overlap between three primary elements. So one is the people, one is the culture, and one is the money or the financial aspects of what's going on. And the framework we'll use here is that there are overlaps between each of these three elements, and we'll talk about each of them individually, but also it's the connections between the three that really leads to the effective management process through a strategy. So a little bit more detail about each of these. If you only think about the two elements here, the overlap, the people and the money, or the financial parts of it, what you'll end up getting is some short-term successes, but if you ignore the culture, it's not going to have a long-term impact. You may have heard the phrase culture trumps everything, or culture trumps strategy. And if you have a strategy that's misaligned with the culture of the organization, either the past or the current or the culture in which you're trying to head, and you're only focused on the people aspects and the financial aspects of it, you're not going to have long-term sustainable success. The second overlap between the two is between the people and the culture. And if you have a heavy focus on the people, they're going to be happy, and if it's aligned with the culture, that's fine. But you're going to be out of business relatively soon if you're not profitable, or if you're in a nonprofit, if you're just not breaking even. And so if you're doing those two at the expense of the financial aspects of what you need to be focusing on, then that's not a good sustainable business practice. And then the third overlap here is at the bottom. If you overlap the financial and the money with the culture, again, you'll have short-term successes, but if you ignore the people aspects of this, you're going to burn them out. And the strategic plan is only as good as the ability to implement it. And in most industries, most businesses, especially in today's knowledge-based economy, it really is about the people and their ability to bring to bear the actionable parts of the strategic plan that's going to help you get to where you need to go. So this is really just intended to be an integrated approach. Again, each week we'll talk about different elements and aspects of this, but throughout the whole thing, I want you to think about it as a systems approach, an integrated approach to everything, so that the decisions that you'll be making strategically are financially viable, aligned with the culture, personally motivating for the people who are working there and they're expecting and relying on to implement the strategic plan. And then the last bit is the intentionality of the strategic management process. It needs to be something that is fully integrated and communicated and engaged with all the people who are going to be involved in this with an intentionality instead of just putting a plan out there and hoping that, that it happens and that everything gets managed properly. So with that in mind, it's just a very quick overview of the course and the things that we'll be covering. And I look forward to working with you throughout this course in the semester.